Good question. I would remove might have out of the question. It was very slow. No, we got off to a very slow start. It was almost, I thought almost like hesitant at times where we would recover balls instead of playing a quick pass out to be able to get out of the area where we recovered the ball. We were slow in transition. We were slow to get into good spots. Everything was just, we were behind the speed of the game and they were playing around us like we weren't there. And when we got it, we were giving it back. And then, I could get very tactical as to our positioning was off and, everybody was standing right next to the guy that wanted to defend them, and there was no uncertainty on the field. It made it very, very easy for them to defend us. And so, I was losing kind of my voice and mine in the first half, just trying to get us to get control of the game a little bit. As the half progressed, we started to find a little bit more time. We started to find a little bit more our connections, our positioning a little better. And then when we were able to get in at halftime and really talk it through, then we had a better go at the second half, obviously. And we were able to keep the ball. We were able to advance. We transitioned a lot better. We also kept our block a little tighter defensively, where in the first half we were kind of stretched out a little bit and they were finding some joy in between our lines. We made that very difficult for them in the second half, and that started a lot of things in transition for us, and we were a lot more comfortable in that way. So great response, great response. Good to be back home. Good to survive that first little bit there, and as I said to the guys, that's why the game is 90 minutes. You can start bad and find your footing and then take over the game. It happened in reverse for us on the road trip, where we started off straight, good, and then we lost control of the game as it progressed. And tonight we kind of did the flip side. So we'll take it. Great results, and overall good performance for the guys.
And one more, Victor Vasquez, you took him off a hamstring. Is it
Yeah.
precaution or?
Yeah, precaution. He was tight. I mean, from pretty early in the game, he was kind of poking around and feeling his hamstring, and we were communicating from him on the field and me obviously on the bench and trying to size up how he was feeling, where he was at. He felt like he could get through the half, and he did. And then we just at that point it doesn't make sense obviously to push him. He helped us get up 2-1, and then it was conserve him, and we'll see where we're at tomorrow. But so far I think it's just he had some hamstring tightness, and let's hope that that's all it is.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Daniel. We'll go with Scott French next. Scott, go ahead.
Hey, Greg. I just want to get your thoughts on Grant Sear getting his first goal. There was certainly a lot of joy you could see in him getting that, and then also on Raveloson and his continued just how effective he is, especially in set pieces, and scoring what's got to be a contender for goal of the year.
Yeah, with Sam, I think, to be fair, I think over the last several weeks or so, just his performances have gotten better and his energy on the field better. He's been more direct. He's run at the opposition. He's run behind without the ball. He's creating a lot of problems for fullbacks. So just in the direct nature of which he's playing, he's competing. A lot of things that I thought he wasn't doing originally at the beginning. He kind of settled in, and he's starting to really push those things. And he's done well. He's been in good spots to possibly score his first one. Sometimes I think for him it's just being a little more patient, looking for a little bit better look. And I think some of that has come into his game. There's a couple of times where he carried inside, and in the past I think he hits one of those shots, and now he goes an extra one more touch, then he lays off the ball. We get a little bit better look. Little things like that are starting to come for him in terms of understanding the league, what we're trying to do, his teammates, all those things, and how he can be successful within our group. So, very, very happy with where he's at, and obviously he's still progressing, he's still adapting, and more of it's going to come. But I'm happy for him. As far as Ryan, he has a knack for these crossing situations. His timing, I've said this over and over, his timing to find the right space, the anticipation to see where the ball could end up, and then to attack it with his head in the three previous, and the ability to kind of organize himself and go for the bike. And on this one is great qualities. Where he was before, he played a little bit more at times as an 8, where he would arrive into the box. He didn't score as much as he has here, that's for sure. But he has always, he has that ability, and his timing is fantastic. And so as long as he's going to keep doing things like that, we'll keep riding those goals for now. And but obviously he's showing a knack for getting on the end of crosses, and whether they're set pieces, whatever, he's got great timing. Was it something else? No, is that it?
Thank you, Greg.
All right.
Thank you, Scott. We'll go with Josh Gessman next. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Greg. Let's talk a little bit about Julian Arago. He had 2 assists on the night, seemed to be causing Portland all sorts of problems, whether that was up on the offensive end or on the defensive side. How much has he progressed just in these first 16 games that you've been watching him here?
Yeah, I think he's making great progress. I think in some of the moments in his tacks and the final third, in his one-on-one defending, all of those things have obviously he's continuing to progress at. Today, I thought his willingness to get to the end line, one of the things we've been talking about to him is not settling for the cross from 15, 16, 17 yards out, but actually going that last 17 yards, 10 yards, 5 yards to get to the end line to open up better crossing situations, not just for him, but the guys who are trying to attack it. And today he really drove to the end line, and he was, he opens up 2 great balls for us. Defensively, his individual defending is one of his strengths, in my opinion, just because of his, his tenacity and his quickness and all that stuff. For us, it's continuing to tie Jules into sometimes those moments when he's not involved. Where is he resting? What are the spots he's taking up? How can he still be involved and engaged in the game in those moments, not just the moments when he's on the ball or sprinting forward or in his one-on-one, but all the little times in between that, and making sure we tighten up those details. But he's for sure improving, and tonight was a great night for him. He's got an ankle issue that he's been struggling through. You could see he's limping through half of it, but he's a tough kid, and he pushed as long as he could, and then we got him out of there.
Thanks, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go with Jonathan Segal next. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Hi, Greg. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was after the first goal, there was a tribute from the players to Jonahs' father with jerseys and such. Just what was that moment like for you? And as much as you're comfortable sharing, what has this last 24, 36 hours been like for the club in light of the obviously sad news that we all heard?
Yeah, it's from my perspective, I don't know if I can speak entirely for the club. I'm relatively new. I didn't know Jonah. His father, I know, was close to some people here, and as well as Gio being here and Jonah being here. So I didn't, on a personal side, I didn't know his father. I knew him as a player and all that kind of stuff, and I heard wonderful things. But for me, I texted a little bit with Jonah last night, and we talked about it as a team before we went out to play, and we had a real purpose today that was bigger than ourselves and bigger than just the game that was in front of us. We wanted to make our teammate and family member proud of the effort, and that we wanted to put something out there to show him that we were supporting him during this difficult time, and his family, because I know they're a big part of the Galaxy family, and so. I'm sure from a club perspective, I to be honest, I haven't been able to spend much time talking to, say, Chris or Dennis or the rest of the club kind of about the situation. So, but I know everybody has a heavy heart for their family and are saddened by obviously the news. And we're here to support him and them through this as best we can. And so, that's the best I can give you kind of on that.
Greg, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.